Alright, that's a creature that combos with Rosie. Basking Bird Scale. 2/2 for 2, Devoid, Adapt 1. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Basking Brood Scale, you may create a neutrality spawn. So I don't know how good that combo is, but the cheaper Treefold, which is a big deal. Someone also mentioned the other day the equipment, Blood something. It's the Vamp equipment. It's turn-free, infinite, colorless mana. And an infinitely large creature. And just lethal brute scale if you don't have a blocker. Seems kind of good enough to me. I don't know what else you put in the deck, but I agree. A little redundancy, a little couple different angle. Doesn't rely on the graveyards. But in Melee, you need to play the gain life cards. You don't have to play gain life cards with these two. Jubilation sadique. Whenever any creature is put into any graveyard from play, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. I don't get it. Your creature is already infinitely big. Why do you need that card? Also, it's not even modern legal. Alright, I'm confused. Maybe it's a different card you're talking about? Oh, it's for Pauper. Yeah, maybe the Samwise combo in the same deck. I'm not too sure. Basking Brood Scale. Let's give it a 5, maybe? 615, really? If you have the lightning creatures, can also throw in Ballista Heliod in there. Yeah. 615 seems good. Okay. Wow. We've got a bunch of believers. Birthring Ritual probably unplayable, right? The new birthing pod. I'm gonna skip it, I think. Feels like too many hoops to jump through. Am I serious? Yeah, pretty serious. You have to wait till your end step. You can break. It has deck building restrictions. It's slow. It's... I don't know. Are you serious? You can't break. Oh, you get to look at the top side. Okay. Sure. But it's still a disaster if you don't find anything and you have to skip. Alright, Collective Resistance. 2 mana, Disenchant. Choose one more artifact, enchantment, target creature gains hexproof and indestructible, which is not bad. So it's a heavy green Wear Tear. Who's gonna want it though? It is a good card. It is pretty pushed. But green already has Force of Vigor, Rex Sage. Pick your poison. Do you want specifically Collective Resistance? The hexproof is a nice little bonus. But maybe give it a 4. Maybe there'll be like specific metas where you don't really want the other effect, or maybe you want a mix of Force of Vigor and this, and pick your poison, and you play one of each or something. Elademri. Does this card make the cut in any decks? Yeah, it could be good in Titan, the Disenchant. You might want to protect some of your creatures at some point. Yeah, we were building elves the other day and we were struggling to make room for cards like that. Does a lot, but yeah. Isn't there already discard that changeling? Is it? Maybe one? Maybe it's one of the better ones to court into when you have nothing. Korvek. Oh, sounds like a guy from west of France, from Britain. Korvek. Should I give it like a 4? Might be a 1 of in elves. 2-1 for free when one or more +1/+1 counters are put on. 1/4 for 2, taps for green, Snake Druid Ferocious. And has Eternalize. I don't know. Ferocious kind of scary. Is there any way to abuse Ferocious? Play that on 2 and then... Yeah, taps for 4, but... Doesn't mean when you Eternalize it, it taps for 4. Which I hadn't realized. Who wants that card though? Such a weird card. Giant Growth. Giant Growth, Dark Ritual, Hollow One. Vengevine. Alright. Is it time? Is it time for the best card in the set? Flare Up Cultivation. Everyone's Nightmare. Scape Shift, best deck in Modern. Scape Shift Mirrors in Amsterdam. Are you ready, chat? Scape Shift decks tuned to win the mirror. Yeah. So what's the best card in Modern? Is it Grazer or is it Flare of Cultivation? People suggested Amulet, you hate it? Really? Why? Thumb's good, right? You don't have to play more than... You just need to cast it once, and it's job done. When you have Ring in your deck, you get to turn to Ring, right? Grazer, put a land, sack it, put a land... Yeah, turn to Ring. Jeez. Oh my god. You don't have to play so many basics, just play 4, right? You think it's bad in Amulet, Edgar? Also, you can just sack your Dryad that was probably going to die anyways. Isn't it great it was Dryads? You get to play an extra land and sack it. They can't do anything about it. And then maybe play like a Wool of Blossom or 2 if you feel like you're low, whatever's the next best creature. And Yogg... People were saying that ramping into Yogg is not that exciting. You need board for... You kind of rather just naturally go... 1-drop, Wool of Roots, Grist, and then Yogg, so probably not that great in Yogg. Maybe you play 1 in Yogg just because it's a nice effect, but it's like you're not desperately needed, but you're also happy if you draw 1. Edgar says, what per 1, what are you cutting? Oh, that's your problem. I don't know, just explore, I guess. But also, Amulet doesn't win much anymore by just casting Raw Titans. It needs... more going on. But if you're casting your Titan a turn earlier, Viridian Emissary is freelance. I'm assuming you misspelled that, but what does it do? Two, 1. When it dies, you may search your library for basic... Oh wow, I forgot that card existed. Damn. It's kind of sick. Just a fine card on its own, too. The O-free is better? What's the O-free? Obviously, if he meant Grazer, he would say Grazer. And he wouldn't compare Grazer to that. Primal Druids. You think Edgar's like an idiot? Primal Druid, green and 1, O-free. When it dies, you may search for your library for a base clan card. Why is it better? Is another one better? You can ping it with your own Ren or something like that. Or just attack with it. Blocks. Doesn't a 2/1... You want it to die, though, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, what else besides Scapeshift? Maybe Yogg, maybe Titan. Hey, Nigel, we didn't get to Kappa yet. Welcome to the chat, though. Alright, what's our highest graded card so far? I've got Glimpse Impossible at 7.1. We started kind of high, but I don't know. Like, we gave 7 to a lot of the Eldrazi's. We gave 7 to Devourer of Destiny, 7 to the new Emrakul, 7 to the new Kozilek. We gave an 8 to Kozilek's Command, which is our highest rated card so far, I think. We gave an 8 to Consign to Memory, which is the blue counter sideboard card. And then we gave an 8 to the Magus, the blue Magus of the Moon, Harbinger of the Seas. And then we gave 7 to Necro Dominance and 7 to Nethergoyf. And when I say we, I say me, influenced by chat. But so at least an 8. I might give it an 8.5, just to say it's better than every other card in the set. Thank you, Goat, for that question. What deck am I thinking? I don't know. Flare seems pretty pushed. But there's a lot of cool stuff I want to try, even though it's probably not going to be very good. Alright, I'm skipping all these cards. I'm assuming none of them are very good. Oh! Is that card good? That card an upgrade on some other things? 2 mana sorcery, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card from among them in your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. So it hits lands. Create a 1/1 colorless. It gives you a creature to sack. For like Recurring Nightmare or Victimize. Just ramps a bit too. Overcosted. I mean, you can't make that card cost 1 mana. That'd be too good. It's kind of like... I mean, I guess you can't blink it. I was going to say it's kind of like a green Philology Archaeologist. Except you don't really want to get a permanent usually. You want to get the Gora's Vengeance or the Reanimate spell. Could be a good enabler. Could it be just good enough enabler to round out a Recurring Nightmare deck / Victimize deck? It's also not the worst just in Yogg. How does it compare to Wall of Roots? For 2 mana, you get to find a Grist, a land drop, your Yogg. You get some fodder. You fill up. Yeah, not that great. How close is it to an Explorer? Yeah, that's a good comparison too. It kind of cantrips. Doesn't ramp you for good. What's the best card for Yogg in this set? There might just not be anything that makes the cut. There's Apprentice. There's Emperor of Bones. There's the Recurring Nightmare, potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that card's just a little too weak. I'm going to just mention it and maybe give it a 4. Oh, a Tower, right. Yeah, the first copy of Tower, sure. Does this card do anything? Monstrous Vortex, 4 mana, enchantment. Whenever you cast a creature spell with star 5 or greater, discover X. Gotta get 4 mana first. Oh, someone memed on Twitter was Ball Lightnings. That card in all Ball Lightnings. You beanstalk. Dude, I think my teammates were talking about that card in the Discord, and I read it and I was like, so you want to build your deck around 4 mana enchantment? And I was like, I don't even remember what they were, which creatures they mentioned. Do you see that, Edgar? I mean, I don't want to throw my teammates under the bus or leak the broken deck, but I had like flashbacks of when we built the Vamps deck at first, and it had the unplayable 2/4 in it. And I was, how is that 2/4 in the deck? That card's just atrocious. How did it even survive? Yeah, you're not yourself. Yeah. I mean, hopefully, whoever Sam breaks it, and it's mana value. It's not even its power, so you can't even like cheat with like some weird cheap 5-power creature or anything. Anyways, the payoff is you gain 4 life. Never mind. All right, we get one of the hypest cards of the sets. Primal Prayers, 4 mana enchantment. Green, when it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. You may cast creature spells with mana valued 3 or less by paying just 1 energy. Doesn't matter if it costs 3, it's just still 1 rather than paying their mana cost. If you cast a spell this way, you may cast it as though it had flash. So obvious play on Allurin, which I believe is a legacy, maybe not anymore, legacy staple, but I'm having a hard time buying a deck that's based on a 4 mana enchantment, and you have to have your creatures live, and you have to have multiple creatures. But if it's not good, it'll be close. Allurin hasn't been playable in 10 years. Okay. But if it's a reason, if it's an excuse to play Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Omens, I could be in. Maybe like, I don't know what the builds look like. 4 mana is rough, but you've got all these walls to protect you. So what's the best loop? You've got the 1/2, the white 1/2. We were talking about it earlier. We got that thing. So this, the white 1-drop, and the enchantment is a kill, right? I don't think Rampager works, because Rampager, you have to... I forget the text, but basically it's not a maze, so it screws you over. This card does work with Satoru. How do you find it? How do you find the enchantment? What's the best way to find enchantment? I guess there's like 1 green, look at the top 5 probably. These kind of cards exist. Take a creature or an enchantment. Also, it just gets countered. Mana, I mean it's modern. Mana is like not the biggest issue. Idyllic Tutor. God, sounds dreadful. You do get Recruiter of the Guards. That card's just kind of broken. Or great. The one that gives you an Eldrazi. Yeah, I mean, your old permanence, and it ramps you. So you could go turn 1, the 1/2, turn 2, find your prayers, turn 3, cast it. Recruiter doesn't do anything. Well, you could have a value plan. Recruiter, Solitude, you could have just a kind of white-green hate bear deck almost, and then you also have a combo. Play Visits on Cockatrice. Oh, okay, what did they have? What was their take, do you remember? Moonblessed Cleric. Not the worst. This all seems so meh. I mean, it's still like turn 4 kill. You know, like Titan doesn't kill turn 4. I don't know what Titan average is, but you know, if you can find a way to kill turn 4 consistently and have like a passable plan B. Blue Splash for Clue Flare with Cold's Oracle. The Blue Flare, yeah, I mean you could. That would actually be like kind of a good deck for the Blue Flare, I feel. Just protect your combo, tap out, protect your combo. Better than people who are like, Snapcaster Mage, Snapcaster Mage, Snapcaster Mage broken. Titan does not average turn 3. There's no way Titan average turn 3. Like turn 3 killing people? I guess maybe it does with people who don't interact with it. Yeah, fair. 3.5 uninterrupted. Yeah, okay. And this thing's not going to turn 3 consistently. Like some games are just going to see 25 cards without seeing your enchantments. And then you have to win with the 1-2 beatdowns. Alright, let's give it a 5.5. Just because it feels like a long shot. Okay, Nigel said what? They would draw their deck and win turn 4? Yeah, but how did they find the prayers? How do they consistently find the prayers? Ooh, Pillage the Bog. Ooh, Pillage the Bog's kind of nice. Pillage of the Cards sees a lot of cards. Need 2 other cards, yeah. Alright, 5.5 is probably even a little generous. 6 is bad, right? 2 for reach. Green and 2. When it attacks, mail 3 cards. You may put a land card from Mundung into your hands. As long as it's your turn, non-land permanents in your area have retrace. No, we didn't get to Nadu yet, Adam. Alright, Spike had this card as like tier 1 build around cards. 4 mana. When you cast a spell, search your library for land cards. Any land card. Untapped. And then if you paid the kicker, you also exile target lands. So yeah, it does seem really really solid. What did you play in it, Maddie? What did you put it in? It's like half a Titan. Blue-green Eldrazi. Oh yeah. This is Bustle and Tron. I mean, you have One Ring and Karn on 4. And green mana is not, I mean, I guess it's somewhat trivial, but this card ties together the Eldrazi deck. Yeah, I mean, you get Untapped Temple. Does seem pretty sick. And then in the mirror, whoever gets to that one first might just screw the other one over. Also, it's against the other big mana decks. Might be fast enough to slow them down. Ooh, Mindstone is nice. With Ugin's Labyrinth. You can cast it on turn 2. Yeah, no, it sounds great. What are we giving that card an 8? 8.5. Almost sounds like it could be a 9. It's gotta be higher than a 7. Seems better than the other Eldrazi's we gave 7 to. Seems more important. I'll give it a 7.5. Maybe that card should have been in my top 5. Yes, Cosmo, you've said that like 16 times. I don't like people who beat a dead horse in my chats, but I mean, I appreciate just your involvement, but also, what's my top 5 right now? No, it's fine. I'm a little sensitive. I don't know. I'm probably oversensitive, but also I have to read like everyone chatting for like 6 hours straight. So if everyone does that, it becomes a little rough.
Pizza?
All right. Next, Springheart Nantuko. I saw some people talk about that card. Does that card do anything? Alright, Gorilla says Nantuko is insane, goes infinite with Grazer plus Bounce Land or Dryad plus Bounce. It makes Nadu combo trivial. Combos of Nadu. This is a card that breaks. Do you have room for all these cards? Alright, 1/1 for 2. Bestow 1 and a green. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2 mana if it's attached to a creature you control. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature. If you didn't create a token this week, okay, so you keep copying your Dryad or your Grazer, and then you bounce your bounce lands with Amulet. Okay. So you have infinite Grazers. Do you get more infinite? I might put this in my Illuna Mutate Commander deck. Broke Commander. So what do we do with infinite Grazers? Or at some point can you cash them in something else? At least infinite Dryad, you get to attack with Dryads the turn after. It is a lot of blockers, to be fair. Like, there might be some modern decks that just can't beat infinite Grazers. So why is that card not win more? I still haven't gotten why that card's not win more. It is? Okay, thank you. Oh, it's okay, I thought it was good. Okay, what about was Nadu? How is it good with Nadu? Yeah, I definitely got debated. Means you never whiff going off with Shuko. With Nadu, every landfall gives you a creature for 2 more triggers. Aura triggers Nadu too, right? Still a lot of mana, but, well, not a lot, but... Okay, so someone tell me what I should rate that card. Because after all this, I still feel like that card's just unplayable. But maybe I missed something in the Nadu deck that makes it good. A 5? Beta of 10? Solid 4. Alright, I'll do 4.5. Sold. Where were we? Thief of Existence. 3 mana Eldrazi. Apparently the green Eldrazi's are good. When you cast the spell, exile up to 1 target non-creature, non-land permanent, and open and control with mana value 4 or less. So, Arena, Teferi, and Amulet. Hits Crest, I guess? If you do Thief of Existence gain when this creature leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. Oh, so it's like Bloodknot Seer. Kind of like Bloodknot Seer for non-creature, non-land permanents. Oh, exiles the ring. Is that going to be a main deck card in an Eldrazi deck, or a sideboard card? Feels more like a sideboard card, but maybe it hits just enough stuff. So reactive and so mopey. It's a 2-drop, but there's so many 2-drops. You also probably have to play Nullrifter to turn on Ugin's Labyrinth and stuff. You have it as a 4-off main. 3/3/4 is good stats. Oh, really? Actual fake news. 3/4/4/2 is not good stats. I mean, 2/3/4 is not good. Like, also, when people know you're playing 4, they can maybe, like, play a bit around it and make your curve awkward, and then you kind of have to play it on turn 3 if you have nothing else, and then, I don't know. I'm not sold. Alright, people still seem pretty high on it, so I'm gonna give it a 6. We did rate a lot of these white cards like a 6, and this is maybe a bit better. No, I'll give it a 6. I'm not sold. Stronger Skyclave. I mean, you're not really selling me comparing to Skyclave, even a stronger Skyclave. Maddie says wars. Yeah, exactly. It's wars didn't matter reshaper in a lot of cases, and I don't know. It might be like, mandatory 4-off after sideboard, which, maybe I'll give it a 6.5. Might be more important than some of the stupid Eldrazi we rated a 7. Alright, is that card playable? Abstruse Appropriation, that's the removal that lets you replay the spell, right? Pretty good against the One Ring.